This is going to be intense. I mean, there's nothing more, honestly, nerve-wracking than the initial launch. Off the bus, man. You're flying. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to be eliminated. Who's going to be the first one?
Yep.
You don't want to be the first one knocked out in the World Cup. I mean, literally, I knocked him like, it was the first game in the Pro-Am, and that was just amazing. You can't live that down. I don't want to...
20, 30 materials like it's nothing. Let's shift our focus, though, towards the middle of the map here at Dusty Divot. And it looks like Landjock and Punisher go out very, very early in this first game to Tetra and, on the flip side, the new road members.
They're wasting a lot of material right now. You can already see it. Got only 100 maps left. That's 10 builds. These early game fights are always so detrimental. You have to be very, very, very particular with how many mats you're going to use when you're trying to ramp rush somebody, because if you make it there and they shoot you out and you have no mats, I mean, you're left with literally nothing to protect yourself with.
And look at the advantage that you now have. Tetra hasn't had any shields, but because 2 eliminations come on through, he gets both. That's 50 shield per elim, putting him at max HP, and now he can completely change how he takes this fight. It's not like the normal games where you're still stuck at 100 health and you might second guess what you want to
make it to the late game if you guys don't have some sort of crazy rotation. Shadow bombs, anything like that.
Here's another fight going on towards Fatal Fields, and with how little materials there are, you got to think these players down low who are already just on light HP are in a tough spot, and there it is. Scarlet and his duo, Bell, get the quick elimination onto Brush. And that's going to push back Brush's duo into Fatal Fields and try to hide for a brief moment. Are you sprinting back over that fight? I think so. Now across the map, though, an engagement going out between KBB, Yuang, and their duo up against Vinny and Zexro, and there's the knock right there, Ninja.
Drum shotgun's very powerful. It's definitely underrated. You can get inside somebody's 1-by-1 right there. I mean, there's another knock with a drum shotgun, just absolutely wreaking havoc. Yuang trying to take this wall. I think his teammate is not going to be able to stay alive, so it's going to be Zex and Yu. He's got the shield advantage. All he has to do is play this patient. I'm pretty sure that these guys don't have that many materials, so just needs to spray it out and hopefully find a chance to take him down, but he's healing up.
Yeah, Zexro has minis as well as big shields, so we'll be able to get back to full shield, and Yuang now in a tough spot. Do I try to go?
Zex definitely can interrupt this now. He took too long to start going with the res, but it looks like he's just going to be going for the reloads, taking his time, and might be dipping out, maybe trying to... He's definitely staying aggressive, but he's going to get the revive off, and now it's a 2-on-1 again.
Zexro staying confident, though, knowing right now still at over 150 HP. The teammate has to be at 30 health. The wall comes through, trying to spray it, and it's not going to happen. And you see Zexro right there, hands right to his head. Some solid damage done, but...
One guy just gets knocked in front of him, like he's going to try to save his teammate. It's not going to happen. But there's not a lot of rotation items. I haven't seen a lot of shockwave grenades. I haven't seen a lot of shadow bombs. I don't see any launch pads in anyone's inventory.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a... the rotations late game are going to be nuts. People are going to get lasered out of the sky.
And Letwick now all need to take in Quentin and Lanouf now having to push a fight as Storm Surge is affecting them as well. And you see it just kind of smites them down from the heavens, and there they go, getting dropped by Storm Surge. Unfortunate for them, but again, with not enough damage done, they do fall below that threshold.
Jeez, man, Storm Surge really does just force people into some pretty tricky situations, but to force people out of their 1-by-1s and try to shoot them as they're rotating away and trying to build new 1-by-1s to dodge the stinks.
You see the stinks right now going down on Mongrel, and Mongrel gets immediately ripped in two as it seemed like the lobby began to focus him right there. His duo still alive.
With good rotation, luckily.
Definitely has a bunch to be able to play with. The next Storm Surge has begun to kick on in. Metro, 12 damage below, will have to begin to put shots down range. The zone pushing as well. So in this position, with the zone at their back, Metro's goal, spray at players who have to push from the zone. They have one way they can go. They can't afford to take storm damage. They've got to push right at him, and Metro knows that. Now begins the fire. Dubs just below as well. One of the players who qualified multiple times through solos and then won some duos.
They also have some great rotation. 2 ballers still intact. And here's the thing that you just mentioned, all these players who are going to be rotating in, being forced to rotate in. Everyone knows that.
Very little ammo, though. Look, these are the last 9 assault rifle shots in Dubs' inventory. It is getting scrappy, folks. And there's the split. Still, though, only 80, meaning combined between the two. They really only have about 150 shots to work with. The zone still pushing. 61 players left. Reminder, folks, this is game number 1 of 6 today in the duos competition. Dubs does go down as a player got that back wall. He wasn't quite ready for it. Mega frantically backing on up, trying to create some space. Will he be able to go?
He's He's going to be able to pop that slurp. He's got
the storm surge on.
He's trying to be aggressive. Oh, he's still below, right? He's going to need to be aggressive. He won't even have time to revive his teammate. His teammate got finished, actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. He can get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Hitting him for 25 damage every time it winds up ticking. There it is again, dropping on in. Mega's hand is forced. Some big damage right there, still below. As players are continuing to drop all around, but Mega doing a solid job of keeping himself alive right now through the Storm Surge. Fantastic composure. Again, one of the young players on this stage looking to try to secure the title of Fortnite World Champion. No more dubs. The duo still down.
So now finally above. Finally above. And guess what? The most important thing to realize, guys, look at that rotation. Yes, he's alone. Yes, his teammate's down. But he has an incredible kit to not only make it to late game, but maybe even clutch this win out. He dropped the shotgun.
Okay, there you go.
Got the combat shotgun, one of the greatest shotguns to have late game. Does incredible damage, long range and close range. And all the guys in the circle just rotated now into the storm. Massive amounts of distance needs to be covered.
This storm surge is insane. It's still going on.
Finally taken out 52 players literally build and protect themselves when they get shot once.
Folks, there are 45 players left in this very, very small zone. We are now on our 6th storm. You see it's about to begin to move, and players will frantically have to go across the map. Zayt and Saf right now discussing exactly what they should drop, pulling up their map, looking exactly where they have to go. 44 left in this one.
We already got people using shockwave grenades, guys. This is a very far rotation for the second movement circle, so this is actually going to move very quickly. These people are going to potentially get stuck on their launch pads because there's so much frequent building. It's going to be nuts. And who's going to try to take the high ground? Because after this first circle goes, this is where people start to only try to use the high ground.
And we know high ground is everything in competitive Fortnite late game. Everyone frantically moving away from the common enemy of everyone, which is that storm circle. Macwood taking zone damage. Daedra as well. King slowly bouncing on through with the shadow bomb. And does land. Storm? Yes, but taking no storm damage, just playing right on the edge. Yeah, right on the edge of the zone right now. We'll just stay boxed up for a brief moment. As now there's 36 players remaining, stomping the elimination feed. Arkram now goes down as well. You can see the elimination feed on the top left to keep track of your favorite players. There's so much is going on. This is what tunneling is. When you hear players mention tunneling, this is it right here. You move with the zone, you tunnel your way in, give yourself cover, but not a lot of materials left. Only 22 builds, and this zone is stacked. But look who's on the high ground. It's Mr. Savage and Benji Fishing.
That would be your 2 picks, so good for you. All right, I have to owe you a bet there, man. That's that. All right. Mondo, unfortunately, do you still have no Mitro's still alive? I mean, listen, people are dying left and right, being eliminated. More Savage just used another shockwave grenade. He already had high ground, though. The question is, are people going to try to take it? You know that if you really want the chance to win this, you're going to have to try to take the high ground off them or have a rocket launcher to just take them out of it.
He's just so weak, and Mr. Savage just looks up and beams the player out of the air. It's all Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage in the elimination feed right now. 24 players left in this one. But 20 duos. There's almost no duos remaining, Ninja.
Right, this is all solos, and this is kind of what's going to happen, man.
Mr. Savage goes down.
It's up to Benji, and listen, Benji's been in this position before. We know he can handle it. Nitro's still in the game as well. I just saw him. He looks incredibly healthy, but now taking some storm damage. Benji's just going to try it. Listen, look at the materials. Not a lot left. They're only using their shadows. I think he has 1 build left.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he has.
He's got 10 total builds.
10 total builds.
He's just trying to outlast as many players as possible. Remember these placement points. We've made it into our top 10 duos. Now into our top 8. Zayt and Saf now. Zayt and Saf now on the high ground.
This game.
One of the few, the only duo left. This has a Zayt and Saf win written all over it. Mitro, Mongrel's duo, was all by himself very early on. Still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zayt and Saf close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in. Benji Fishy goes down. Mega, Mitro, and Scarlet on the low ground. Shots still coming on in. Zayt and Saf just sitting pretty.
Mitro just got a double, I think. 5 limbs.
Tries to get it done. Not enough. Zayt and Saf. 2 versus 1. Will they take game number 1? Yes, they will.
Zayt and Saf had the high ground, and they used it the entire game. Rain fire from above. We're able to make up 5 limbs plus 10 placement points. That's going to be 15 points. Game 1.
Talk about a monster game number 1. You saw the immediate reaction. They know how key that was.